What's up, everybody? Crash here. Welcome back to Crash Against the Spread. We'll be talking about sports from a betting perspective. It is Wednesday, October 16th, and we have one NFL game we're going to talk about for tomorrow, Thursday. So go ahead and get this out there. We got the Broncos and the Saints. I know I say I really don't bet my team a lot, but they've been on prime time often enough, or a really good game, or situation that I thought I could really capitalize on. So I really try to stay away from betting on my team specifically, like every week, just to try to bet my team. But standalone game on Thursday, I'm probably going to bet it. So what we have, or going over Monday was the last time I actually did a video, was the Monday Night Football game for the Bills and the Jets. I was on the Jets and I was on the under. Neither of those hit. The opening numbers hit. So Jets were 3.5-point underdogs at the open, and the total was 44. So both of those ended up hitting. Sometimes that's why you go with the opening line and reevaluate if the line changes that much. But still thought the new look Jets might have a chance. I think next week I was premature on the real new look Jets with the Devontae Adams trade, but I think next week they might have a shot to capitalize. I think they have Pittsburgh. Yeah, Pittsburgh next week, and that's the night game on Sunday. So another kind of standalone situation, but looking at Thursday's game, Denver Broncos and the New Orleans Saints, we have a couple storylines. Two rookie quarterbacks, Bo Nix and Spencer Rattler, both starting. Bo Nix, obviously the more experienced quarterback in college and NFL at this point, starting the entire season. Spencer starting his second game. Both coaches, Sean Payton, coaching the Saints for 16 years, and Dennis Allen coaching the Saints since he left and being on his staff for quite some time as well. Both coaches know each other, know how each other want to coach, and I think they're going to be trying to think differently to outsmart each other. So on paper is where we got to break this game down, but I don't think that the game is necessarily going to be played by the book, so to speak. So first of all, we're looking at a Saints team that's going to have a lot of second and third string players in. So the 17 players that are injured on the injury report. We know about the quarterback. There's the right guard and left guard questionable. Two centers are out, so we're on third string center. Taysom Hill's questionable. Olave and Shaheed both went out of the game last week. They were on a short week, so I'm not sure if they're going to play. Two safeties and a linebacker, Pete Warner, Matthew and Harris are the safeties. Offensive line has been banged up. Looking at the replay of that game, Spencer did have some good things, but none of those, one touchdown of those 27 points were his. So. And nobody scored in the second half, so it was less impressive than I thought it was in my head when I was walking around work talking about look at Spence go. But there's a lot of short fields, a lot of mistakes, a lot of defensive things that happened to get those 27 points, and then they were blanked in the second half. So Spencer Rattler himself, 5 sacks, 2 interceptions. A lot of missed tackles on the Saints last week. So I think there's going to be maybe an overcorrection on the missed tackles part of it. But looking at the other side, Broncos coming off a loss to the Chargers, 23-16, as 3-point favorite or 3-point underdogs. And Chargers pretty much were in charge of that game, dominated that game. Chargers are probably one of the best defenses nobody's talking about. Before that game, they hadn't allowed anybody to score more than 10 points this season. So Broncos broke the trend there, but Pat Surtain went out last game, so he's going to be out for this one. which is a big deal in their secondary. They got 2 right tackles out and the center out. Josh Reynolds is out with the finger, so their offensive line is going to be a little banged up too. But Bo Nix has been using his legs a lot. He specifically is 37 rushes for 160 yards this season, so he's not staying in the pocket if he doesn't have to. They're going to be focused as far as their defense goes on stopping New Orleans' run game, which is pretty much Alvin Kamara. They're trying to keep Rattler in the pocket, and they're third in sack rate, second in pressure rate. So I think they're going to try to emphasize that, being that we have a rookie quarterback back there. So I am probably for sure on the Broncos in this game. I wish I would have got it at 1.5, but I'll take it at 2. I think they can win by a field goal. I like the over though. Bo Nix is scoring a little more. Saints can get defensive scores. With Shaheed out, I don't expect any special team scores like there was last week as well. But I like the 2 wide receivers that we have coming in, replacing Olave and Shaheed. That's Tipton and Means. I like how they played last week, so I like the chemistry Rattler and Means had. So I still think that the over is in play. Last week, the 2 lowest totals on the board were the Broncos game and the Steelers game, and both of those games went over. Steelers scored 30-something points, 35 points by themselves, and that was what the total was, 35-36. And the Broncos game got to 39. So both games went over. I mentioned that in the video, but I only had it in the parlay. So didn't get the whole parlay, but those 2 bets hit. So going over on this one, as we progress in the season, I think these low 30s or high 30s totals are going to be too low most of the time. So over and the Broncos is where I'm leaning towards. So go ahead and lock that in. Let's get this money, and we'll be back to talk some more football.